Turach Water Project in Soi South, as at now, an allocation of 2.9 million has been allocated. We are happy that there is a billboard to say what this project is, but this project leads you to this like a cattle trough. So the 2.9 million leads you here. So I know there is a problem there, because this one leads you here. Although it was for piping and also storage and pipeline, this is what leads you from this Turach Water Project. Then finally, we only selected 2 projects. This is Kamokio in Kapchemutwa Ward, where I will not say much about this, but it is a very big issue that we agreed that this should serve as a lesson, as CSOs, I don't know, to the many projects in this department of environment and water, because we have a challenge. First of all, the PMC here is a county staff. So a PMC signs as a county staff. I mean, the PMC is a county staff. The contractor, from our records, links to the ward administrator. The BQ was changed. The BQ that we have 2 BQs for this one. The BQ yenye ilienda field na the BQ yenye ilienda Department of Finance is different. The PMC, I said, mmoja ni environmental officer, mwingine atoki huku, mwingine anatoka huko sehemu za Bugar huko. So unashindwa PMC wa Bugar anakuja kuwa PMC hapa Kamokio. So we have a very big challenge here in Kamokio, and the money ambayo ilitumika kujenga Kamokio ilitolewa kwingine pia. You see? Pesa ilitolewa kwingine ikapelekwa Kamokio, but hatuwezi sema ilitolewa kwingine because hatujui so far. Because the money that was allocated was around 300,000, but the project, what was paid for is 1 million. So there is a big problem in this Kamokio water project, and because this is constructive, without fear, we still believe in this department. There is a very, very big problem, and we want you to address that problem, because if we mention hatutamaliza, including issues of casuals and the relationship with some staff of the department.
I want to start with the worst one, which even me as a CC I'm not happy about. Kamokio Dam in Kapchemutwa Ward. The issues were raised. I've personally gone there and even reported to my boss. And one thing that I want to tell you is investigations are ongoing. And the person who even signed as a PMC, and again you are signing as inspection team, you have to bear responsibility. No compromise about it, it has to be done. And there is one thing that I always say as Barsosio. Kitu ya bure isiingie mimi mfuko yangu. Let me rest that one at that point, because the investigation are at an advanced stage and in 2 channels, the county government and other authorities. The components of Turach Water Project, it is not an easy one, and I had to sleep for 3 days because of that. And you know, Ismail, you know where the intake is. We visited that project with the governor and other team, and on our Facebook account, that is County Government of Elgeyo Marakwet, there is a photo showing after corrections. That is what the contractor had done. But I sent my director in charge of water services, Felix, is there, and our sub-county officer, Keyo South. And they ordered the contractor to demolish that water trough, and they did another water trough. A picture showing His Excellency the Governor, Barsosio, the area MCA, and the sub-county administrator, Mr. Bowen, and kids from that area, the same water trough which had been corrected being launched. Again, on the same water project, I remember last financial year, I had again to I went there, and the contractor started the process. On the way, because now we had some questions about this contractor. On the way, I sent the sub-county water officer to go and check. He was laying the foundation for the slab. Because this water project has a lot of components. And the one that we did last was a project that had 899,000. And the contractor bid it at around 860,000. And during the foundation, we were not very satisfied. And I remember sending again my director and the sub-county. Na kufika huko wakaanza hata kupiga teki na kubomoa what the contractor had said. And that is the spirit that we need to have when we are doing some of this work. That contractor, we've paid some amount. Still, part of it is still remaining with us. But one thing that I want to say, because of what we did, anaenda mbele, sisi mara moja, sisi tunarudisha yeye mbele nyuma. On the issue of hiring of conservancy casuals. It is an issue that I don't want to preempt some of the things that we are doing as a department. But one thing that I want to say is the County Public Service Board and the Office of the Governor. We are following up on the issue, and even the officer is here, and he can stand and be able to tell us the truth if for sure aliandika watu wa nyumbani 12 ama ni uongo tu. They are here, both Director Felix and Director Suter, who doubles up as the chief officer. You can come here.
I'm Chelimo Suter, the Director of Environment. Your Excellency, the CCS present, and all the CSOs network. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and allow me to say only one, because my CC has responded on the issue of Kamokyo. Unless there's something touching that, I'll still clarify. But on the issue of conservancy casuals, in the county we have a total of 80 conservancy casuals, which were approved by the board. Personally, I'm in charge of the environment section. However, I have 2 officers, both manning the Keyo North and Keyo South, and Marakwet East and Marakwet West. When we were given this opportunity to have the 80 conservancy casuals, we were directed to pick from the very locality. So the 2 officers handled the hiring of the casuals at the very locality in collaboration with town management committee and even those people elders within that area. So personally, I don't deal with the issue of hiring those people, but I do the administrative duty of now after they do their work and then pay them the dues. So as to having 12 or so family members, let me not say anything for now. Let the investigation be done, because what I know very clearly, none of my family members is there. I'm the last one in a family. In a family of 7 boys and 3 girls.
Asante, thank you. Any question for us?
First of all, I want to echo my sentiments from the CSO. You have done a good job, but also you must also be giving us positive or work which has been done well from the contractor side. So don't be one-sided. I want to maybe to ask the CEC for water, the project management committees. Sometimes they are very cumbersome. Maybe sometimes also you have finished a project, you go looking for them. I don't know what is your, the time frame whereby you can allocate these people to go and see projects in your department. Another issue is about projects which are not being completed by maybe the first contractor. You give somebody a second chance to do the work. Now, what happened is this, I don't know your PQs. Mm-hmm. There was a project we did in a place, tank construction. The person who you have allocated the contract, first of all, the quality of pipes from the intake. Now we came, we wanted the water to come to the tank, But then most of the the pipes had been, they had all of them been, they were busting. Now you try, how are you going to compensate the person who is doing that project? Now, but the water is not reaching at the tank, and you want me to complete the project. I think, I don't know, you might have had the project of Kapsaina. There was a lot of, I don't know, we are the third contractor.
It was done by CDF, some part by the...
No, the contractor was given it. I think, I don't know who was the second one, but then we completed. So those are the project, the problems we encounter. Project management is fee. Why are you putting it in my PQ?
When we get water or when we are distributing water, we know PMCs, sometimes they do according to their relationships or whatever. So we need to see distribution fairly in every water which is supposed to be done, especially in irrigation side. I have a problem myself. I am a member in Kipchugugu water project, but I was denied water without reasoning capacities. So, because I'm a disabled, I'll be soon going to court to remove the main line which is in my shamba. Thank you.
Bas, asante sana Bwana Waziri. Ningependa kukuzia wakati ule ambapo tulikuwa mahali hapa. Wakati wa round table meeting we talked about the 5 tanks in Sengweru Ward. And last week we had the interface meeting and we had technical manager alikuwa hiyo mkutano. Na pia yeye aliona hizo tangi. And the recommendation that he made ni kwamba those tanks haikujengwa vizuri. And you remember that time when I was here, nilisema kwamba despite the fact that mimi si contractor, lakini to my feasibility study, hiyo kazi si nzuri. Therefore, it is my wish that in Sengweru Ward we know tuko juu and we have water. And at the same time, director is from that side. Na for real, mimi ninaomba on behalf of the people of Sengweru Ward kwamba kindly afadhali tufanya kazi kidogo na ni quality than tufanye nyingi na isifanya kazi. Alafu itatusaidia hasa kama wakaaji wa Sengweru Ward. Thank you very much.
Vile umetueleza Bwana Waziri ni kwamba hiyo water project ya Turach. The project you talked about is a Kiboigo water project, famously known as Dr. Korich water project. It is not Turach. And even in case those funds that was meant for Turach water project was maybe reallocated to extension or renovation of the Dr. Korich project, the public is not aware. And in this case, Turach, as we said, is not Tekiboigo water project. It was 2 projects that was to be done at Turach, the footbridge and the water project. But as we speak, there is no that water project you were saying.
When contractors go to the ground, they are only shown that the intake is here, a pipe in a pit upper, in the there are no designs even to show where you can even have air valves, washouts. You know, pipeline. There are always a lot of pressures by and on the main line. Unakuta projects zingine unaanza na GI pipes from the intake, na wakati pressure imebuild wanaweka PVC pipes. And that's why unaona projects mingi zinakuwa zinapasuka because there were no designs.
Thank you. On the issue of the designs, I want to give it to Director Water Services to answer on that before I embark on the other ones.
Well, thank you for your valid question.
And supervision fee.
Usually what we do is that we categorize our projects in terms of the threshold and in terms of the location where they are. But then I want to mention that most of our water projects they are just gravity-fed systems, and they are very small projects that they might not even really necessarily mean that we do a detailed design. What will happens in our villages, and why we are seeing so many breakages, is because of the shortcuts that you guys, contractors, take. Because when we quote, like maybe you when we advise that you use class B or class D or a GI pipe for a section, because you want to maximize on profits, then contractors just go and do maybe class of B, which indeed does not sustain the pressures. So it's an issue of, it's all about shortcuts by the contractors. Otherwise, from our side, we have no problem. I want also to mention that we do designs for bigger projects, like the one for Mosongo, like the one for Kipkaner, the ones for like Mugula, yeah, especially those ones that that need profiling, depending on the sections of the environment. Down the valley, we might not need to maybe to do a detailed design because it is straightforward. The intake is there, and the consumer is down there. So all what you need is just a GI pipe. Putting in mind about the environment. Because there's no mad person that could install maybe a PVC pipe in the escarpment. But some of the contractors do. Even alongside maybe giving the direction that we recommend for GI in those sections. So otherwise, we do designs, but sometimes we don't do because of the nature of the size of the projects.
Thank you, Director. On the issue of Kipchukugu, I know you've raised it severally, and the department in charge of education, I'll make sure that they follow up on the same issue. Na wasipokusaidia wacha mimi nikuje nikusaidia na nitakata pipe mwenyewe. Sawa sawa. Alafu mtu adichukue kotini, na naomba Shadi tusaidiane na wewe kwa hiyo plus Wekesa and Chepkonga, the engineer, because nasikia pipe inapita hata kwa shamba yako na wewe upate maji na uwezi enda mtoni kuchota maji. On the issue of designs, it has been mentioned, but again, one thing, you know, and I know what Nderi is referring to. One project that I want to mention is Kamasha Water Project, which you did to some point when phase 2 came. Somebody else did the work, another one, because of the kind of financing which is there. Again, giving some as challenges. You know, when you do a water project in phases, when you test the first phase, it will, and I still remember even in Sengwer Ward, Kipsamba Water Project, you know the kind of stress that it gave us. The first contractor did up to a certain point, deep into the forest. The second contractor came up to some point, and now the third one ametoa mpaka kwa shule. Haina tangi, haina anything. And the second and the third contractor had to go back to the first line, and when it was tested, water could go through that line. So sometimes we need to do some of these projects to completion. So the kind of funding again. And on the issue of Sengwer water tanks, and these are some of the things that we've changed as a department. Even if the community will tell us to do a tank before the water source, that one, as we talk now, we cannot be able to accept such issues. This was 16-17 financial year projects done by a contractor called Hack Contractors Company Limited. But because this is a transition period, I talked to staff from Lake Victoria, and we are going to revisit some of those issues. You see, even there is a tank again which was done at Kapcherop Girls, which is defective. I went there and it was done. It is a kind of a tank of its own, and it is leaking. So I talked to the management of Lake Victoria, and soon they'll be coming to that place again to be able to assist us in some of these issues. On the issue of supervision fee inside the BQs, it is an issue that we're handling, so that as a cabinet we are able to come up with a deliberation, and the CEC Finance is here, so that they can be able to assist us on the best way possible. Contractors being given second chances. If you want a second chance, let your issue be known as early as before you sign that contract agreement. And for those contractors, I'm seeing some Songoch somewhere. They know how I deal with them in the department. After even signing the contract, we take you to the site. And 14 days, if you don't report back to the site, what we always do is, do what Songoch? We terminate. Na tunakubaliana. And I remember the bulk of the department was so huge. But as we speak today, it is diminishing, and we're having now, we can be able to now act on a few projects. This financial year, Your Excellency, as a department, we have 102 water projects this financial year. It's a big task ahead. And noting that the whole first quarter has elapsed, and we've not even initiated the processes. So sometimes it is hard, but we are equal to the task, and we want, next time when we come here, we want to give out a very good report on the same. The department is understaffed, especially on the environment section. We have one environment officer who is the chief officer, is the director, is the sub-county environment officer, is the environment officer on the ground. He is everything. But that one should not be a reason of us not delivering. On Kipchesang water source encroachment and other issues, I think this is one thing that as a county leadership, and I'm happy, Your Excellency, that you and the county commissioner, you've initiated a development committee under the presidential directive, that we look into matters environment so much. So even today there was a meeting, but because of this we could not be able to attend to that meeting. But these are issues that we are following up. And what we need from you, tukisema watu wasilime mpaka kwa mtoni, mutoke, because it will equally affect us. But I want to report, Your Excellency, that there is one honorable member in the county assembly who is sponsoring a bill on issues conservation and of water catchment. And the penalties for some of us who are encroaching into the water systems will be very huge, so that we are able to sort out this issue once and for all. Equally on our side, Your Excellency, the UNDP are sponsoring the county government, working together with the indigenous communities and other communities within this county, so that we have an environmental policy and environmental regulations on how we are able to manage our forests within the county. And it is our prayer that by next year, before the end of financial year, we will have a bill at the county assembly, so that some of these things we can be able to regulate. And I remember in Chesoi, some culprits were arrested by the ACC and reaching the courts because they had cut down indigenous trees. The prosecutor said there is no law which, but we went back with NEMA and we used all the laws which were there, and the case now is being followed. Thank you and God bless you.